Squash and stretch. This form of animation is to define how rigid an object is. It gives a sense of weight and flexibility. This is shown here as a tumbleweed is getting blown across the screen, and as it hits the ground it squashes. Staging. The purpose of staging is to direct the audience eye to exactly where it needs to be at that point of interest. As shown here, the point of interest is the town in the middle of the desert and then to the outside of the bank. Secondary action. Secondary action gives the scene a more lifelike feel to it. It can help to support the main action. Remember, secondary action is only to emphasize an action, and this is shown here by the bad guy walking out of the burning bank. Anticipation. Anticipation is used to prepare the audience for an action, as shown here when the good guy steps out to walk towards the bad guy. Arcs. All actions follow an arc path. This is more noticeable with the action of an animal or person. It gives the animation a more realistic look and less stiff. This is shown here by the bad guy lifting his arm with a bag in his hand. Straight ahead action and pose to pose. Straight ahead animation is when a scene is drawn frame by frame, which makes the scene more realistic. Pose to pose is when you draw a few keyframes and fill in the rest later. This can be used in more dramatic scenes. This is shown here by the two movements of the horse. Interrogation. Interrogation is not extreme distortion of a drawing or extremely broad violent action all the time. It's of facial features, expressions, poses, attitudes and actions, which is shown here by the good guy squinting and the bad guy giving a menacing smile back. Appeal. All characters must have appeal for the animation to have a good effect. This can be in the way of heroic, villainous, comic or cute, such as the bad guy laughing here. Timing. Timing refers to the number of drawings or frames for a given action, which means the speed of the action in the scene. Timing is important for showing character moods or reactions, and it is shown here by the bird flying into the bottle and knocking it over. Slow in, slow out. Slow in, slow out is when there is more drawings at the start and ending and less in the middle, and this gives the action more of a quick surprise element. This is shown here by the good and bad guy drawing their guns towards each other. Follow through and overlapping action. Follow through is when an object is moving but the main part of the object stops, and something such as a tail will follow behind and stop a few frames after the main part has stopped. Overlapping is when other parts of the object are moving at different times to the main part, such as a head or a leg. This is shown here by the good guy running into the distance with his poncho following him. Solid drawing. The basic principles of drawing an object are to form weight, volume and solidity. When drawing an animation design, it is important to draw the objects from different angles and positions to see how it will work in the final piece, as shown here with the sketches.